Discourse number 29, tape 2.
He brings you back to your old patterns. If you don't see human beings, you forget that you are human. And this is good to forget that you are human, part of society. It is good to remember that simply you are. You don't know what. You don't belong to anybody, to any society, to any group, to any religion. This non-belonging will be helpful. So it will be good if you move alone somewhere and do this, practice this. Alone this technique will be helpful. But remember to start with something that you can feel. Otherwise I have seen people doing techniques which they cannot feel. If you cannot feel, if you don't have any experience, even of a glimpse, then the whole thing becomes false. One man came to me and he said, I am practicing, but God is everywhere. So I asked him, how can you practice? What do you imagine? Have you any taste? Any feel of God? Only then it will be easy to imagine. Otherwise, you will be simply thinking that you are imagining, nothing will happen. Remember this for any technique you do, that in the starting, you must do something you are acquainted with. You may not be acquainted totally with it, but a little glimpse will be necessary. And only then you can progress, step by step. But don't jump into something which is absolutely unknown to you, then you cannot feel it and you cannot imagine it. Because of this, many masters, particularly Buddha, dropped completely the word God. He said, you cannot work with it. It is the very end. And you cannot bring the end in the beginning. So begin from the very beginning. He said, forget the end will follow automatically. So he says to his disciples, don't think of God, think of compassion. Think of love. So he doesn't say that feel that everywhere is God. You simply feel compassion for everyone who is there. For the tree, for human beings, for animals. You simply feel compassion. Feel sympathetic. Create a love. Because love you know, howsoever little. But there has been something like love in everybody's life. You may not have loved, but someone may have loved you. At least your mother. You must have looked in her eyes. She loved you. Just be motherly to existence, Buddha says. And feel deep in compassion. Feel that the whole world is filled with your compassion. And then everything else will follow. Remember this as a basic law. Start always with something you can feel. And only then the unknown can enter through it. Enough?